Hello, hello.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manifestation
Destination.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Boom, boom, boom. And follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Manifestation Destination Pod. And ring, ring, hello. We would love to hear from you, and to many of you that have called us, we will get back to you as soon as we can.
Very. Trust me, we're working on it. I even got me a little helper. Okay.
We got little helpers because we have the overwhelming
Thank
feedback.
you guys for all of that too. By the way,
yeah.
we do love you for all of the letters and emails, everything, pages, everything.
Letters.
Yours and pages. All right, good.
Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for reaching out.
No,
and,
really, yes.
If anybody else would like to reach out, you can see it on your screen right now if you're watching on YouTube. And that number is 305-985-3378. And welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome. I'm so sorry. Allergy season's coming up.
Yes, allergy season.
Hold on. Yes, because winter or fall has arrived.
Okay.
So,
seasonal allergies.
Fall, winter. Yes, they have arrived for me. So yeah. How have you been?
How have I been?
Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? It's been a lot going around. I know a lot of people have been coming to me talking about this weekend was rough. This past weekend was rough.
Yeah, and as we talked about, we just went through the portal, and we're on a new moon today, so happy full moon, everybody.
Yes, happy full moon, guys.
And I think that has a lot to do with people's emotions and situations leading up to and going through this portal and through the moon.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been depressed lately. They've been crying a lot. They've been inside of their own emotions. They don't even know. Some people don't even know. Like me, sometimes I don't even know what the heck is going on inside of my system. You know, and what triggers it. You know.
Yeah, I agree. And even Olivia and I had hung out on Monday.
Yes.
And I was being very negative at moments, and she's, you can't do that right now. It's the portal. It's the portal. It's the important day. You need to refocus.
Yes.
And
as much as I try to preach that to others.
Yeah. Wow. So she definitely knows that I've definitely been feeling some type of way.
Yeah. A lot of us have been though, right?
So yeah, and a lot of us have, as we're saying. So that's why I was kind of taken aback with the how have you been, because I've been up and down, to be frank. And if I'm being honest, as we usually are.
We are, definitely
that's why I was just being quite frank and saying that, I've been up and down. I think the full moon has a lot to do with it. I do think that my own actions have a lot to do with it. And I do think that there are places, faces, and situations, as I always say, that I need to readjust and reevaluate. And,
we all do, yep. That's exactly part of the ascension, is to clear that up.
It is.
Growth, improvement.
It is, yeah. And there are certain things that I have not worked enough.
You like that, though? I'm just saying.
She has it written down.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I know, but I didn't even really... I mean, I knew.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was
never
nice.
mind.
Oh, yeah, that was a really nice callback from your...
Yeah, forget it, guys. Go ahead.
And I know that those points that I have not worked on and improved upon are the things that are holding me back.
Yes.
That was my point I was getting to, and I think a lot of that has to do with this. And we'll get back into that into the episode. But you know what? Fuck it. My week was good. How was your week?
I mean, you know what? My week was great. That was great. Yeah,
great.
Was great.
Okay. Anyways, back into the. So anyways, I know that these things that I have not improved upon and I have worked on, or have not worked on as much as I'd like to think.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fool yourself into thinking you're improving.
Very true.
You know, you fool yourself into think that you're working on or you've done enough work on a certain thing, and you're not. You know, and those things
because
definitely
you need
come
to
back
give yourself some sort of a pat on the back, like you accomplished
Yeah.
something. Because you can't not accomplish something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I know that these things are my anchors right now. They're my dead weight. They're my unresolved issues that aren't. I'm not talking unresolved issues as in like childhood bullshit. I'm talking
adulthood,
current situation
moving,
type things, you know. And again, people's places, faces, closing doors, opening doors, clearing the cobwebs out of the doorways. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like,
that's what part of this ascension really is, though.
Yeah,
you know?
It's the cleanup that I'm not doing, and it's my clutter and my baggage that I keep carrying around, and then I keep looking at. You know, I have seen great improvements in certain things, but I do look at the things that have not improved, and I wonder why. And I think that, and I because I fooled myself into thinking that I've done the work for that already, but I haven't completed the work. I started it, I did a little bit of this and that, but I haven't completed it. So then I'm like, well, why isn't this working out? What's going on? Why is this still happening over and over again? And it's because we have not cleared out all the cobwebs. We have not closed the doors that need to be closed, open the ones that need to be open, and that's how I've been feeling. Is very that's
that's me too. Though I've been talking to my sister, and we've been like back and forth. Like, what are we missing? Mm-hmm. Like, what do we if we see great things in other areas? You know, like. So when like let's say manifesting, right? Because I manifest a lot.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of stuff. But then I get very upset because I don't see what I really am trying to manifest, you know? So it's like sometimes I wonder, what am I missing? So me and my sister go back and forth, and it's like, I think I may just now figured out what I'm missing, and it's me, you know, really learning how to like improve my growth because of my selfish ways.
Yeah. Like
I have other selfish ways, you know? So I think that maybe once I learn how to do that, other manifestations that I want will come, but they're on hold right now. Because just because I believe I'm ready, I guess I'm really not ready.
Yeah. I think that's
because I don't see it, you know?
That's it. Yeah.
And it's good that, you know, it's good that I talked to Kyle about it. It's good that I talked to my sister about it because they all give me the same exact insight, you know, so that's good to have somebody like that to talk to about it, right? Yeah, because then you actually can become aware of what you're doing wrong,
right?
And you can start improving on yourself. I could start improving on myself.
Yeah, and that's the overall goal, and
the overall goal is, right.
Yeah, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
To fix ourselves.
Oh, I was gonna say
fix ourselves.
That's the overall goal, and you know that's part of the point of this podcast is fixing ourselves. You know, that manifestation destination, aligning your chakras, and the whole point of this is because we know that things are not aligned and that we're broken.
Exactly.
But like I said, there are some things that we think we've worked on and we haven't, as I was saying, and that's where I'm really trying to recognize those flaws and those problems and fix them.
That's what I'm saying, recognize,
And it's, as we said before, I said last week, I think, when it comes to like addiction or other things, it's like the first step is to recognize the problem.
Right.
But the second step is to take action on that. And what actions can you take? Because there's bullet points to that. What action can you take now? What action can you take later? You know what I mean? Which option is best? You know what I mean?
Very true.
But the thing is, you have to take action. Taking action does not involve weighing out the options and not choosing either.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you have to actually start doing the work.
Yes,
you know, put your foot forward and start actually moving towards that betterness of yourself. You know, so then that way you can actually see clearly. You know, and then quit blocking. I guess you know. Your chakras or your manifestations or
your growth.
Yeah. Which is good for your mental health once we do it, right?
Yeah, I think with mental health, it's good to recognize because it is like your own form of therapy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I realized that probably half of this episode I've been looking here, talking to Olivia, and
it's okay. I look at Kyle a lot too, and that's because I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
But I know we're talking to you guys, so
right.
yeah. So forgive us, we're just gonna constantly do this. It's just weird having to do this.
It is sometimes,
like,
yeah. And as I was saying, like recognizing these flaws in yourself. Personally, for me, someone who does not have a therapist,
yeah, me, same,
and hasn't reached out, I think it's important to do your own kind of therapy and your own kind of self-improvement in that aspect. That you have to realize your flaws and you have to work on them. And if you see things aren't changing in certain situations, one, have you been putting in the work?
Yeah.
Two, did you weigh out the options and, like fool yourself into putting in the work?
Exactly.
Because that's what happens with me sometimes is I weigh out the options and then I don't choose either, and then I think to myself, oh, well, I put in some sort of work because I weighed out the options. That there was an improvement there, but that's not enough.
But when you go back and write about it, what exactly did you accomplish?
Right,
Nothing.
right. Yeah. And what did that other person get out of that?
Nothing. And then we neglect to realize how they feel in regards to all of this.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have your own kind of therapy with yourself. You have to check in with yourself, and you have to realize what these things are that you want to improve and grow upon.
Very true,
and identify the baggage. If your manifestations aren't coming to true,
something
which personally for me, I know that there are things that I really have been putting my heart into and really thinking about and visualizing, but I know that there's more work that I have not done to get to that point.
So that's why it's on hold, and that's why it's on a pause.
Right.
Even though, as bad as we may want it, like me, I was very upset the other day, and I was just questioning my spirit guides, like,
Right.
And then they sent me an answer, they said, slow down, stop being in a rush. You got things to do first. If you want it so bad, then get up and take action and improve on yourself, because you have a couple of things to work on, like your selfish ways. Whatever ways that may be towards me,
Yeah. I definitely recognize the selfish thing.
Yeah, wanting power. You think I want power? Maybe power. Control. I want control, and I need to stop and just learn how to behave.
Go with the flow is what we're working on.
You're right.
Which brings us into this board here, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah. Calm down now.
You're right. Slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah, and in regards to selfishness.
And control, too.
Yeah, you did say control. Well, we were saying control.
I'm just saying, though, okay? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'm working on all of that, though. So I guess I figured out, what I should be working on.
Right.
Yeah.
But I resonate with the selfishness thing. And because of that, because I know I'm not a selfish person,
right,
I automatically assume that my actions are not selfish.
Right. Well, we're not selfish, but we are selfish.
And that's something that when it comes to just, really my personal relationships with everyone is when I know that I have this attitude, at times. When I'm frustrated or I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And people are asking me questions or calling me, I have this tone about me because I'm frustrated.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, it really, in my head, it's like, this is not the right time to call me.
But
that's selfish. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not the right time for whoever's calling me to have a problem either.
Yeah.
And I know that I get frustrated, but the past couple days I've really thought, I'm thankful that people even do call me when they have a problem.
Very true, because imagine how lonely you would be. Nobody calling you.
Right. And the fact that they're calling me means that they think that I'm going to say yes. They find me as someone that would help them. Dependable.
Yeah.
I'm someone they could depend on, yes.
That's awesome.
So when I'm being an asshole, because I'm stressed out, yes, I'll get whatever done that I need to get done to help the other person or whatever, but the way I go about it is almost like personally, if someone went about it that way, I'd be like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't even need your help. I'll ask somebody else.
Yeah, why are you being
That's what I would be. And thankfully, these people in my lives are a little more tolerable within that, and they take my help despite my attitude.
Yes. Yeah.
But I really do need to work on that, and I do need to recognize that that's selfish, and I need to be the person that I know that I am.
Yes.
And I've always been unconditional. That's always been my thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
because it's just, I don't know, it's just important to me.
And I have to realize, really quick, not to cut you off.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I have to realize that I am not, the center of attention, and that there is others around me, and
with other problems.
I'm saying,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And that I need to be like, I can't take someone away from everything. I can't have everything. I mean, I can, but there's limitations to it. Especially.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. You can't have your cake and eat it too, is what people say.
Right. Yeah. Because it's not fair to others.
No. Yeah.
Correct.
And it's. I think it's actually something that I've recognized in other people around me, other adults.
Yeah.
And I realize that I'm falling into the same pattern. Is that I feel like adults have this unintentional selfishness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just inherent in adulthood. Everyone has their own bills that they have to pay and their own things they have to get done in order to pay those bills.
Correct.
And their own families or pets or whatever to take care of. And they have to do that after they work to pay the bills. You know what I mean? So I get that we all have our own circuses going on around us, right?
We do. We really do.
It's really remarkable to me that adults ever find time to do anything with each other.
It is a task.
Yeah,
it is a challenge. Okay, yeah.
But it still comes down to the approach, and my approach is not favorable.
Yeah.
I would not like my approach if it were at me. And it's selfish. It just is. It's because it's other people have problems, other people have things, and when I said unconditional, is like, for me, unconditional is putting yourself in someone else's shoes at every moment. Still remain in your own and understand your own needs.
Yeah,
of course.
True. You
That's
don't wanna...
the big balance. You know what I mean? You don't want to sacrifice yourself completely for anything. But you still have
feel
to
good about yourself
and care for other people. And in my heart, that's what I care about most, is to make sure other people are happy and taken care of.
Yeah.
And maybe some of my bitterness comes from not taking the time to approach those situations, because I put more stress on myself when after the fact I'm like, man, why did I act
and
like
then our vibration go and
then your vibration with somebody else is like, your waves are like this,
and then imagine
all of
if
a
you're
sudden it's like way out
and imagine
of whack.
if you're in a relationship, and that person's like, damn, you done messed up my whole vibe, my energy's like now it's like, how do you approach that person later on in the day? And it's like, dang, it's like, doesn't it feel weird and awkward?
Does. I do.
Me too. I do too.
And I sometimes I get hopeless. Like, if those situations, even if it happens more than once, I start to think of it like this: like the relationship is like this thing of water, right? This big thing filled with water, and every time one of those little things happens, there's a drop of oil in there, right?
So it can
it's always separated, right? It always floats around there, and it's like the more oil, the more noticeable it is, until it's like there's this big separation of the oil and the water, and that's usually when people break up or separate. You know what I mean? And
I get it.
I do think that
adding.
Yeah, and I think that part of our growth is realizing that we add oil into the water too.
Yeah.
And
I think I add a lot of oil. I don't think I add drops. I think I pour cups.
You just pour cups.
I think I'm pouring cups right now, so I need to fix this.
And who's to say that tomorrow we forget, and that's not the goal. But I just want you guys to know that it's normal to, nobody's perfect. We're not going to say everything that we're saying and have all these revelations, and they all stick with you. Because we're acknowledging
those. See, we're acknowledging our issues.
Right.
I acknowledge where I fall short on being selfish. Kyle acknowledges where he falls short being selfish, So as long as we're acknowledging it, like tomorrow we can wake up and mess up and try again, as long as... But eventually, you have to...
Yeah. The whole thing is that when she says mess up and she grinned, it's like, we don't want to tell you... We don't want the message to be it's okay to keep fucking up over and over again, because it's not the message. The message is that, yes, we understand this today, tomorrow we fuck up, and we take a little bit of maybe what we remember from our recollection or our growth from the day before, and we apply that to the issue. So even if you do fuck up again, it's a little less... or a little less, and eventually, or it's just gone.
Yeah, or you realize that situation that you were working on is not. Really,
it doesn't even exist, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's just not even there.
We're having revelations here right on the podcast.
Right, exactly, yes.
Because we didn't talk about all this, and it's funny the connections.
Very true, yeah. So that's awesome.
But along the lines of this, I've been listening to a lot of celebrity interviews.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Just famous artists and actors and just people in the industry in general. And I'm talking their oldest interviews, their first interviews. I'm not watching recent. I'll watch those after the fact. Anyways, watching those old interviews because that's when they were where I want to get to right now. You know what I mean? I want to look at people that are at my next step.
So they were there like, oh my God, I just went over this hump.
Right, and these are the things, because it's so fresh in their minds. You know, when you watch a celebrity, you know, like, let's say Madonna, right? You watch her now talk about things she did 40 years ago, it's a little gray compared to what she would have spoke about that 40 years ago. Because it was fresh in her mind. So that's why I like to watch the older interviews, because I know it's fresh in their mind. They know all the hard work and all the steps that they just took to get there.
The struggle,
So
the fighting.
I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was Will Smith, don't quote me, but he was talking about wanting to do stand-up, right? And he was always so afraid of stand-up because it was so vulnerable for him to stand up there, say jokes at somebody like Will Smith, right? He said that was terrifying to him, but he's always looked up to the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys and, you know, those huge guys, right? He said, and I'm pretty sure he was the one that said that he had looked into Sublime Detachment.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
What?
So, and that is something that other actors have mentioned before, too, is this sense of detachment is like stepping back, right? So I was like, what is this? I'm like, what is Sublime Detachment? So I looked it up, and that's when we found the Law of Detachment. Which is more closely related to Buddhism. And this is specifically, they actually call it non-attachment instead of detachment. But the fact of the matter is, it's this concept that when you're putting all your energy into something and you're focusing so hard and you want it to be a certain way and you want it to be a certain way and you want it to be a certain way, nothing's coming of that because there's no wiggle room, right? When it came to Will Smith and his thing, he was so worried about the outcome and what people would think.
Right.
He had to detach himself from that feeling. And step back, which is what this Law of Detachment is. It's like, whatever you care about, whatever you really want to happen, it's not to care about it less. You still have to have your intentions set, but you have to step back and quit forcing it.
Right.
Because you're not getting the wiggle room. You're not getting what you're missing, essentially. And
when Kyle told me about this earlier and he was explaining it to me, I agree. I agree a lot. Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh no, you're fine. I was just going to say that, so basically whenever you're really focused on something, you care about it so much, you're so focused, detaching yourself is not literally walking away from it completely. The idea is to just take a step back and not be so worried about the outcome. The outcome is what is... The outcome is your control, right? That is the control factor for you, is the outcome. I know what I want the outcome to be, so I'm going to control this whole situation to get to that outcome.
There we go.
But that doesn't work. You got to step back and not care about the outcome. Have the positivity, the positive affirmations that it'll be fine and it's going to work out with the confidence. But you got to detach and step back, for sure. Yeah,
you should definitely do that. So there it is. There's the problem. The problem is that we are not detaching ourselves.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's not allowing us to grow or improve.
Correct.
But it is allowing us to identify, right?
Yeah.
Because the fact that we were not detaching led me to something about detachment. You know, things happen for a reason. Is all I'm saying.
No, because like me and my sister were just talking, and I'm trying to tell you, like I was trying to figure out what am I missing.
Yeah.
What is blocking me? Because you don't have a lot of things that I want to manifest.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, one of the biggest ones I won't even tell you. You should already know.
I already know.
Okay. So I'm always wondering, like, what am I doing so wrong that I'm not getting what I am requesting when I know that everything is energy, and I could create anything. Well, yes and no at the same time, because when you're not vibrating at that high frequency, because you have selfish ways and because you have attachments and you don't know how to detach, it prevents you from manifesting, because your mind is always concentrating on the issue that you are attached to. Right?
I agree.
You're always on that issue.
Yeah.
You're always worried about
focused
that
on
problem.
That one thing.
Yeah. And so how are you growing?
Right.
And then Kyle's right. Forget the outcome of it, because then that's how you're living in the moment. I guess that's where we're forgetting. I forgot. I'm not living in the moment if I'm also worried about the outcome.
Right. You're up there.
Yeah.
And you're
what about
not here?
Yeah. How is that even possible when I'm supposed to be here? Everything's already written. What am I doing? Just stay here and be calm. And just like Kyle said earlier, go with the flow.
Yeah. I think go with the flow is like the biggest revelation we had when we were talking about this off camera.
Especially when we were trying to figure out this sublime detachment.
Yeah, sublime detachment and like the definition of sublime and how that fits into this theory.
But it is true though, because I think that's where a lot of people push each other away, is because one person, if you're going to use it against a relationship or even a job, with your coworkers, or if you're like a boss or whatever, the ways that you are, the behavior that you have with this detachment issue, can affect anyone pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
So the way that I was explaining it earlier, when I was trying to, before we had watched the video, I was trying to get, because I had watched the whole video myself, and I was trying to shorten it for Olivia, and I couldn't really explain it.
So I could get an idea what he's talking about.
So I was like trying to explain, like here's your hands here, right? And here's the two people, right? And you guys are trying so hard. Both of you are forcing and putting your own selfishness and opinions, and you're trying to make things the way you want it because you both have that idea of an outcome, right?
Exactly.
So you guys are both trying to manipulate the situation and make it work, make it work, make it work. And you're not giving yourself any wiggle room,
Correct.
right?
Very
so these
true.
little outer fingers, as I was saying, it's a wiggle room. So they don't have anywhere to go. And they want to be free, right?
Correct.
Because this is you and this is them, right? And you have to allow that to happen for those things to grow, right?
Yes.
And then once you get it together, I do believe that this little outcome that you both wanted in the beginning, right?
Will happen. Yes.
Naturally.
Wow, naturally.
Naturally going with the flow. If things feel forced, and I already knew this before, like if things feel forced, if you feel like you have to change somebody, it's not right. You have to let them be them, and you have to be you. And
you have to be their safe haven
in the situation too.
Did somebody say that ever? Safe haven? My
Each
my
other's
safe
safe
spot?
haven? Yeah.
My secure spot? My calmness area?
But you have to realize, you have to remember, well, that's good.
Peace. My peace. You're supposed to be my peace. A couple, I guess they said that your partner is always supposed to be your peace.
Your peace. Like your peace, like your peace, like your calm.
Like your calmness area. Like your partner should not... You and your partner should not ever bring each other.
I agree.
You're supposed to be your peace.
I agree, because I feel like people that I've dated were too similar, right? So when you come to the wrong person, and that doesn't mean that they're a bad person, if any of you ever are listening, that just means that the way that you react doesn't work well with the way they handle situations, and vice versa. So when I come home and I'm like, oh, I'm so frustrated with this, and this, and you're on that same energy, and you're like, yeah, I get so frustrated too, and blah. We're not helping each other.
No,
we're just firing each other up.
Exactly.
The whole piece should be like, I should be able to come to you and be like, I'm so frustrated. I understand, I'm listening, and like a consoling thing, and then back. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't be hyping each other up.
That is so true.
Right?
Okay, yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. So that also goes for, like, in order for you to have that in a relationship is to learn how to detach from other issues. Because once you do, I guess you learn inner peace and maybe,
Yeah, and I think this is gonna help me a lot with music and stuff, because I'm so focused on the outcome that I shut myself down. Instead of just going with the flow, working piece by piece, and just doing what I like to do, I'm so focused on everything else that I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting what I need. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. And the same thing for, relationships and things in my life.
Yeah. This is so cute because I really think because, like, the way me and my sister's been talking, the way me and Kyle talked today, the way everybody has been feeling with this ascension process, with this Lionsgate, with this full moon, with just everything, period. I think that, and this podcast, I think really helped me and Kyle a long way, just like helping us grow spiritually. And yes. I think that we really cracked the code because I really think that is not just not just me being selfish for my own benefit.
Yeah,
but I'm really thinking this detachment shit is my biggest fucking problem right now, Kyle.
I do too.
Oh,
I care too much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not in that cheesy,
I'm very possessive.
Love, romantic.
I'm very possessive over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's my problem.
Mm-hmm. And I too have similar issues, and I hope that I don't bring them into my next relationship. But I know
it's not just relationship. I'm not obsessed. I'm saying general.
I'm saying personally in my personal relationships, I have had those issues, and that would get in the way. And I hope that I don't carry that into the future because I think I have learned that lesson.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about being possessive. I recognize that in my relationships, but then I realize that's not just my relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes different relationships, love, friendships, family members, you recognize things if you're paying attention. You learn things about yourself, different things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes they apply to other aspects of your life.
It is attachment, yeah. Like,
and that selfishness for me in relationships, I realize that sometimes I act that way in other situations.
Belongings, like shoes. That's an attachment that, nobody should have that.
Mm-hmm.
Just anything simple, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it leads up to something big.
Right.
Right?
Right. Okay. It all will work out. And if you're manifesting it and asking for it, it should work out right. So
I think that this is great. I think that tonight when, before I go to bed, but I think that tonight before I go to bed, I'm definitely going to go ahead and just make sure that I release and let go of detachments. Any whatever sort of detachments that I feel as if I have, a lot. I have a lot. Like what's creating these attachments? What's causing me to do that?
You gotta sit with yourself and think about
I have to go through a lot of channels, which is fine because I could do it tonight. Tonight's like a perfect day to do it anyway because the moon is out.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna work on it. Yeah, I've been staring at the moon for the past few nights.
Right? Did you guys see the moon yesterday? Oh my god!
I was talking to the moon.
We were at the whiskey place yesterday, and were you really talking to the moon? Oh, were you in the window talking to the moon?
I was driving. And when I was driving, I was talking to them.
Mars? Okay.
No, I don't.
we were at Whiskey Island. I got a really good picture of the moon. The moon was gorgeous, and she was almost at her full peak yesterday.
I felt like I saw 2 eyes and a mouth on the moon.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. That was me, like Kyle. No, I'm Kyle, you see me up here. You see how cute I am. We were staring at her hard yesterday.
It was very nice.
Yeah, very.
And I will definitely be applying my 3 Ps to this as well. My positivity, perseverance, and patience.
Say that again?
My positivity, perseverance, and patience.
Did you guys hear that? That's so cute. I like that.
I think we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Maybe you did.
Maybe a few weeks ago.
But you never mentioned it again.
No,
so that's why it sounded familiar, but
people have a mantra, and that has always been my mantra.
I love mantras.
But I forget my mantra. I forget my mantra for years. And that is always, and I did mention that because I was like, I wanted to get a tattoo of it, and to remember to always be positive and patient because those are my biggest problems in life.
Yeah, positivity and patience goes along, and patience. Oh my God, patience.
Yeah,
that's another thing that I should definitely work on is patience. Mm-hmm. I don't think I have an ounce of patience. And because that's where I lie flat. Is as soon as something doesn't come when I want it, how I want it. Then there I go, I lose my patience.
Yeah.
And then once I lose my patience, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think that this was great therapy for me, actually, really.
I like it.
I'm not joking. This is serious. For me, it is. Because I'm telling you, I've been trying to figure out, what is blocking me. Sure I don't release and let go and cleansed and did good deeds and bad deeds and anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying... I'm just saying.
Figure something out.
Right? Yeah. I don't. Man, meditated the life out of my soul.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Like, so yeah, I think that this is what I'm supposed to work on.
This was good, yeah.
I like it a lot.
Happy full moon, everybody.
Yes, definitely.
As I said before.
I hope you guys had a great time. By the time you guys see this video, you guys will still be under the full moon.
Yes, you will.
As we all know that she does
stick around.
Yeah.
And then
Yep, definitely.
she goes little by little.
Very true, yeah.
So
winter's coming up on us, and I'm not a weatherologist or anything.
well, they do say they're saying it's gonna be a harsh winter all over the United States this year.
I believe
supposedly,
it. But I do know that I just found out yesterday, and I didn't know. That yesterday the sun, it was the last time that it was going to set at that time. Is that accurate?
Oh, so now it's gonna start setting earlier and earlier.
Earlier and earlier. Yeah.
I know. I could tell because the weather here, guys, in Ohio, it's like it went from,
and I got sweatpants on.
High 80s to low 70s.
And you guys are gonna start seeing me with a scarf in here soon,
right.
With gloves. Like, so on today's podcast. Hopefully I'll make it out of here by the time the winter hits and I don't have to suffer and I could be in a hot climate enjoying my life.
I would love to be in a warmer climate too.
I mean, yeah, we love you guys. We all have a lot of work to do. I'm glad that you guys even stopped by and listened to me and Kyle talk about this as we ourselves have so much clearing up to do.
Yeah, we have a lot of learning to do and a lot of
and we love doing this.
Evolving.
I like doing this.
I do too, and I hope that you guys resonate with the stuff that we're saying. And
it's been everywhere, so don't feel alone. Don't feel like, oh my God, why have I been so tired and depressed lately and everything. It's just the ascension. It's just finding yourself, getting tuned with yourself, sit quietly, listen to your spirit, listen to your soul sending you a message. They love you. They're rooting for you. They're cheering on for you. We're cheering on for you and we're cheering on for ourselves. So,
yeah,
there it is, guys.
For sure. And focus on your support systems and try to, especially for me, realize your flaws because sometimes your flaws get in the way of your support systems.
Yes.
Sometimes your attitudes or the way that you approach things kind of, get in the way of that.
Push people away.
It does. And it's, again, things
and then it's hard for people to give you advice and help you.
And you're never, one real quick thing is I just want to say you're never on the downslope. You're never in the trenches to where you can't fix these things about yourself.
God, yes. Yeah,
even if you feel like, oh my God, I am such a bitch. I am a bitch all the time and that's never good. And you want to change, there's still confidence and there's time. You have to work on why you're a bitch. So whenever you feel like you're being a bitch, what in that instance made you a bitch? Was it something you didn't like? Somebody said something to you?
Do you think you got to hold this figure?
Right. Is there some sort of ego or something and a facade you're putting on?
Correct.
And it's never too late. You're never in the trenches. It's never too far gone. You're never too far gone, and it's never too much of a problem.
Yes, very true.
Again, with your support systems and people around you, all you have to do is work on it, as I've said with everything else, guys, little by little, piece by piece.
Journal, also.
Oh, yes.
All
journaling. Yes, because journaling is great for self-reflection, and it will allow you to realize things that you may not have realized in the moment. I'm
going to journal this detachment issue that I had.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Definitely. Yeah, let that shit go.
Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yeah,
let's get to work, guys. Let's get to work on cleansing ourselves, because pretty soon we're ascending higher and higher and higher. And we got to let all this low vibrational garbage stay down here, okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Manifestation Destination Pod. And as always, our link tree is down below in the description. If you want to check that out, all of our communication methods are there. Don't forget to check out my eBay store because I would really love to receive some sales this week. Again, you can check that out at KP's Closet. And we would love to hear from you guys on our voicemails.
Yes, call us, please. Definitely call me.
Again, we will work on those voicemail, guys. We're overwhelmed. But either way, we're going to catch up, and we would still love to hear your feedback on this episode and hear more about how you guys are feeling and what you're going through.
Yes, tell me. Yes. Okay, what you did to fix it if you're fixing something. Please let me help me too.
And if you want to share that, you can either down in the comment section below, or you can give us a call at 305 985-3378. Ring, ring, hello.
Hello.
We love to hear from you, and we love all of you very much.
Very, very much. On that note, have a very great weekend and sending you nothing but love and light.
And positive vibes. Bye, guys.
Destination.